Well, hello! In this video we're going to give you some really useful tips of how to make a great travel video.
With your smartphone?
With just your smartphone. A complete beginner's guide.
He's trying to teach me how to do it. That'll be fun.
It could be a long video in that case.
Cheeky.
As we mentioned in the intro, it's a complete beginner's guide. I'm not going to bore you with all the technical stuff, frame rates, resolutions. It's going to be using just your smartphone, in this case an iPhone 6s, straight out your pocket. No software, no gadgets, no clip-ons, none of that nonsense. And the only accessory we are going to use is the Joby Gorilla grip thing, a small one.
Gorilla Pod.
Yeah, for your iPhone. That's the only thing we're going to use apart from your smartphone. Well, tip one, you already know this, Mel, don't you? What's the main thing to start with?
Have an iPhone in the first place.
We worked that one out. What's the main thing?
Filming landscape.
Filming landscape.
Yes,
that way, sideways, okay?
Not that way.
Not that way, that way. You may know that already, but that's the basics. Film in landscape, okay? Well, the next tip is the sound quality. The recording and the microphone on these things isn't the best. It's quite good when it's nice and calm, but it's really affected by wind noise. So basically, if you can, go shelter yourself from the wind. If it's too bad, forget about the sound altogether. Do a voiceover or music afterwards.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. Well, I must add something extra about the wind noise in that video. Ogmore Castle is really exposed and you can hear the wind noise blowing below our voices. And we were using this, a Rode VideoMic Pro with this furry thing to dampen the wind noise. It's called a dead cat. Anyway, you can still hear our voices above that noise. We should have gone like basically indoors away from the wind. But compared to the sound of an iPhone, it's much better. This is the footage under the same conditions of the iPhone. Have a listen to this. You can hear the difference, can't you? Okay, tip 3, a useful one, is movements. A lot of people try panning around or moving, following objects, and with this it can be really shaky and blurry. So instead of trying to pan around, which is getting the full view, take a couple of shots or 3 shots, like a wider shot, a shot from a different angle, and use that little tripod to keep it still.
Good idea.
So do a still shot, a closer in still shot.
And then edit it together.
Yeah, instead of just doing a shaky pan shot. And also get the movement. Your camera's not moving, but get the movement, get something moving in the shot. Another tip, if you do want to move with a camera, like going into somewhere or looking around like this castle, use slow motion. The slow motion takes out some of the, well, a lot of the movement. A lot of the shake? Yeah, it makes it, like when it's slow, instead of being all shaky, it's far smoother, and you can edit that together then to make it a nicer visual shot. Okay. So if you haven't got a tripod and you still want to move, try slow motion.
Good idea.
We'll show examples of all these at the end of the video, okay? Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just had a coughing fit.
Okay.
It's working with your wife, I must be allergic to you. Anyway, back to business. I'm going to be teaching you.
Yeah, well, you're not really teaching me, are you?
Next tip,
what's the business?
Tip 4, is use the features on the phone. Most smartphones have got excellent features. We're using the iPhone 6s. The time-lapse is really useful. It's actually easier to use. You get really good footage. It's easier than the big Canon camera it got.
Okay.
And it's another useful feature, which we just mentioned in the early one, is slow motion.
Sorry.
You got allergic to me as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So use the features on the phone. Use the time-lapse and use the slow motion. Don't overdo it, because that can be just as annoying, but the features on most smartphones are excellent, so use them, okay?
I look forward to trying these out, Marcus.
Yeah, we're going to try these, like I said, examples coming up shortly. Right, the final tip of today, remember we're going to keep it simple, is keeping your phone steady. The only accessory we're using is the Joby Gorilla Pod thing, designed for the smartphone, this one. It actually can clip around things, you put it on the table. Just be careful because it's not the most robust thing, so you don't want your phone to drop off, so don't put it over a waterfall or something where it's going to drop in the water. If you haven't got one of those, use something like the wall, lean against it, keep the phone in tight, lean against the wall. Well anyway, enough talking, Mel's going to actually try some of this out now. We're going to make a short video using some of these techniques around Ogmore Castle, which is a beautiful castle in South Wales. Let's go and try some of these tips out.